Hi guys, welcome to hashtag no filters. Joyous Monday, the 22nd of February 2021, with me, Cheryl, Norris, Hopkins. Change of scenery, guys. Change of scenery. Hope you're really, really well. If you've not joined us before, thanks for coming along. If you've been around before, thanks for coming back. Let me just turn off my other device behind me. So today's show, ExerPLAY. Fun toning that bod. What on earth am I on about? Well, I just thought it'd be fun to share some ideas and things I'm playing with in terms of how to get your body fitter, more toned, and to do it as part of your daily life instead of having to go for a run, go lift some weights. I could say go to the gym, but most people aren't going to the gym right now, right? Rather than making it something separate, exercise, which most of us resist and don't particularly find fun, what if you could use your body in your daily activities in a way that would naturally tone it, firm it, make it more agile, right? Why not? So as always, guys, anything I share is just a perspective. It's food for thought, insight, inspiration for you to choose what might work for you. It's never the truth. And it's all about giving you access to more of your own freedom and more of your own ease in the world, which is currently going through its own cray-cray as we all awaken. So I thought I'd try out my lounge today. I'm going to point move the camera at some stage just to make it a little easier to demonstrate a couple of things. We'll see how it goes. So what would happen, guys, if you used your body as if it was a toy? Do you remember being a kid where you just moved around in all sorts of different ways and you explored the world around you and your body naturally got stretched, it got put in different positions, it built up a natural resilience and strength, right? Because most of us are pretty lean as kids, right? And then we get slightly more sedentary, or we get into more formal forms of exercise, physical education classes, maybe some stuff after school. But we spend a lot more time sitting in chairs and we get stiffer and stiffer. Unsurprisingly, obviously, we grow in size, but we tend to get more bulky. Now, just to give you a bit of background on my kind of whole fitness thing, so you get a context of where I'm coming from. I was into kind of, field stuff, as in sprinting as a kid, most sports. I was quite active, got into martial arts at about age 13, 14, when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Loved it. Then got into kind of quite heavy weight training, kind of more in the bodybuilder gyms. Always loved dance, quite a good freestyle dancer. Got into a little bit of yoga, flexibility, skiing, whatever. So that's kind of been my path. But as I've gone through the different stages of life, as I've kind of chilled and got more playful and got rid of some of the whole conditioning thing about how we're taught to behave in life. And although I was a bit of a rebel in my own kind of way, I was very hard and very strict on how I treated my body. So it was fun to command it, but it wasn't necessarily fun for my body. So as I've got more relaxed, my desire to follow a fixed pattern of exercise has kind of gone out the window. And particularly this last 6 months, I've not even been interested in any sort of stretching. I do love to walk, so I've kind of kept that going, but I've done it less. So I just thought I'd show you a few ways of how I'm using my body day to day and starting to use it day to day that might help you use yours in a way it's a lot more fun for you. Okay, so hey, one of the most obvious things is actually just starting to use your daily activity. So let me unplug this, right, and see what we get and see if it works. See how. Okay. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me okay. You might pick up some background noise because my partner's around, but hey, this is called real life. So one of the things I've noticed, for example, what a lot of us do is we don't actually use the full range of our bodies. We move around and we kind of just stroll through our space. But actually, if you walk fully, like if you actually step on your heel, roll through your toe, it's almost like you're tensing your leg as you walk, you start to engage the whole of your leg and the whole of your body. So when I go out walking now, it's not like I'm power walking, but I do actually put all the weight through my heel over my toe. And it actually puts a lot of weight through my legs, which means they get a workout. Sounds simple? Give it a go. You might notice a huge difference. Another thing I mean notice is that, for example, on a chair, what do most of us do? We're sitting down in our day and we kind of slack. And actually, people often think about sitting upright, it's about pushing your chest out. But if you just actually sit taut, the way you learn to sit up when you're a little baby, because if you didn't, you'd fall over. So if you do kind of just sit more upright, you naturally hold your stomach in anyway, and there's a slight tension through your butt and for your legs. So your body's having to work to keep you in that position, right? So there's less like a slouching, and how many people get rounded shoulders because they slouch. So being that bit upright will not only help the tone here, and obviously the chest here, but it'll strengthen the back as well, and obviously keep the butt a bit more tight, and also the legs itself. And also when you go to get up, again, how often do people kind of move forward and roll? But instead, if you actually try and push yourself up when you're seated, so straight up, you'll find you engage the legs and the butt a lot more. So that's another example, right? I'm going to try and put my headphones back in because I'm wondering you might pick up the boiler noise. We're on the fly here, guys. It's the joy of just going with things, right, as they come up. Another thing I noticed and think might be really useful is that a lot of time we tend to bend down to get something. So, for example, if I'm taking something out of my washing machine, what people often do is just kind of bend for the waist, or they might slightly bend their legs, right, to go down. But what would happen if you actually squat down fully, right, down to the level you're reaching for? So when I squat, I actually go down into my toes. Let me put that down a bit more. So when I go to get something from the washing machine or a lower cupboard, I go down and I stay on my balls of my feet, and then I reach in to get whatever it is. So what happens? My body has to balance for a start, which engages more muscles, more ligaments, more tendons. The weight's going up through my feet and my toes, which actually makes them stronger. It actually makes my sort of back engage, and my thighs have to engage. So there's a lot more work than if I'm bending at the waist or just slightly bending my knees and reaching in. Right? So what actually happens here is I end up not only working these various smaller muscle groups and say ligaments and tendons, I engage a lot more leg, and also I'm engaging my flexibility because my hip flexors are having to open up more. So I do that a lot. I'll open up a cupboard and I'll be able to squat on my toes. And also when I come up, I push up through, you can see I'm on board with my feet, hopefully. I'll push up through my feet before I then put my heels down. And I don't do this all the time, guys. It's kind of like the last few days I've been thinking about how I could just enjoy playing with my body more naturally in the space I'm in, rather than, okay, let me do some press ups or some sit ups. Because frankly, I'm bored of all that shit, and I just want to get on with my day, but I don't mind engaging with what's around me when I do things. So yeah, squatting down is a really cool thing. Going through the heel for the toe when you walk is really cool. I mean, if you're not going outside, you can totally do it in your home. I do it when I'm moving around. And as I said, getting out of the chair, push straight up as opposed to rolling forward. Or for example, on the loo, how many people sit on the loo and they slouch because on a phone? If you're going to be on the phone, sit upright, okay? But really proud. Again, it's going to help back here. It's going to help also with the ablutions. It may sound funny, but if you actually put your feet out, and again, let me move this down. You put your feet up like that, as if you put your legs out in front of you. If you're not doing much, if you're just waiting for something to move, you can just kind of do some leg raises. You actually, it's like leg curls, isn't it, really? Or leg extensions. And you actually tense up the thighs. You're waiting, why not? And actually, you'll find when your body's doing a little bit of work, it'll actually empty out the bowels a bit more. And again, most people roll forward off the loo. But what if, instead of doing that, you come straight up? It's like these really subtle ways of using your body in a day-to-day way that mean you start to put more stress on the muscles for them to get toned and stronger, but you're not having to put dedicated time into working out. So there's a few ideas on the legs, guys. Another thing I do actually is if I'm getting something from a cupboard, or a cupboard, let's say, I might do it. I might sort of do it on one leg. So what I mean by that is that if I'm getting something from a higher cupboard, I might push up on one leg. Let's come down here with this camera again. I need a camera person. I might push up on one leg. Sometimes on my ball of my foot, or just flat on a foot. But so we'll just go up a little bit and come down. So as you can see there, what happens, I'm just going to do it slightly, is I end up obviously working the calf, right? So it actually starts to use another part of the body, and also with that is that because you have to balance, or even if I'm going down to a cupboard, I might go down on one foot, okay, and I'll squat down into something. It may seem a bit bizarre, but as a kid, we played with our bodies all the time. We did these weird actions, right? We'd balance on things. We'd walk along the street and we'd be on the curbstone. So I went for a walk the other day and I walked along the curbstones, so it's like one foot in front of the other. I'm sure you remember, it's one foot in front of the other. So it kept my balance, but also made it fun for me. As I'm inviting you to find that fun for you. Right? There's going to be different ways your body likes to move. But as I've become more joyous in my life, I've become more playful and childlike in how I want to move my body. So for me, this is a really natural way of doing it. I've incorporated it in my day. Another thing I do day to day, if I'm doing some hoovering, again, most people kind of half bend and they do this. Well, actually, why not get down a little lower? So it's in bend those knees again, that kind of squat thing. This is kind of all leg stuff at the moment I'm talking about, and hoover like that, or get really down. So if I've got a rug, like I've got a rug in my lounge, I get down and I, get the nozzle and I work at this level. So again, I'm normally on my toes and I've got the hoover and I'm just kind of like doing that. It keeps the balance. It makes me obviously work all those tendons and those ligaments again, and stabilize the muscles. I'm going to engage my core. There's a lot more going on than when I'm standing up fully and extending the pipe or the hose and hoovering like that. So another example for you there, guys. Arms. Arms is a great one. So, a lot of people, particularly women, end up getting a bit flabby. I've been really fortunate. I've stayed pretty toned from previous things, but this last month, no, 2 months, well, I've not done very much. And I've been eating, like it's going out of fashion. For the first time in 7 years, I've actually put on a bit of weight, about 5 to 6 pounds. Now, I've eaten everything, that would create that kind of weight in the body. So crisps, chocolate, pizza, dairy, animal flesh, all the things I don't normally eat, but I've started eating them because I had some at Christmas and frankly, it was a bit of fun and I just didn't really stop. So I guess 5 pounds I got off pretty light, really. But I'm like, that's enough. So although I still look pretty trim, things were a little softer. And I noticed a little softness here for the first time. I was like, not really sure about that. So again, that whole, how can you do things at home that enable you to move your arms naturally? Again, let me give you an example. Let's say you're folding something up the top, washing, whatever. Most people kind of have their arms quite close to them when they fold something. Put your arms fully out. Put your arms fully out. And so by doing that, when you go to fold it, that might look a bit silly. You can see by fully extending, it's already engaging my shoulders, right? So, hold it fully out and then fold it. If you fold out all your washing, all your tops with your arms fully extended, you're going to make these lovely shoulder muscles work, as well as, a little bit of the forearm and the biceps and the triceps. So just, carrying things at arm's length, carrying the washing basket, carrying the iron, carrying the shopping bags, having fully extended out when you can, and carrying away from the body a little bit like the strong men do when they're carrying massive logs. Carry the shopping bags out away from your body a bit, or carry them like that, or slightly curved so your biceps are working. Finding ways in your daily activities to make your body work a bit harder. That's what I'm inviting you to. Another thing that comes to mind is obviously, engaging the core a bit more. So, as I said, when you're walking fully through your heel and your toe, your core gets engaged more. When you're sitting at your desk and you're sitting upright, your core gets engaged more. Not only just obviously your stomach, but also your back. And it's not like you're holding in your stomach, holding your breath. It's just by sitting upright, being solid in your seat, it engages it all more. It's a natural occurrence. When I stretch into a cupboard to get something, whilst I'm stretching, there's still an engagement here. I don't kind of flop because I'm normally stretching up, sometimes lowering, stretching into a cupboard. But in either circumstance, I'm overextending myself. I'm slightly off balance. So I have to use my core to stop me from toppling. It's like natural dynamics. It's like you have to explore and find out fun ways of doing everyday tasks so that it incites your body and gets your body involved more than it would normally. Right? That's my invitation to you. Okay. I think some of the other things I've been doing. Yeah, I mean, there's like flexibility, obviously. Like I say, stretching, overstretching to get something in a cupboard. So standing a little bit further away from a cupboard when you go to get something from it means your body has to take the extra bit of motion to get to it, whether it's high or low. Right? Just makes your body work. Sitting on the floor. I sit on the floor with my legs crossed, or sometimes I just squat. So again, to see if I can kind of give you a bit, show you, to make it simple. So look, hey. Yeah. So sometimes I'm just kind of like, if I'm starting to watch a bit of TV, whoops. See if we can do this without losing you guys. There we go. I'm starting to watch a bit of TV. I might just do this, just literally just squat like this, rather than sit on a seat. Or I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you, but I'll give it a go. Yeah, I mean, I'll sit like this. I might sit with my back against the sofa. I'm not trying to wrap my feet on top of my legs like a yoga position, but I'll sit like that. Or if that's too tight, then obviously you can loosen it and, or just have one leg in. But the more you start to do this, the more your body will naturally start to open up. And it's not forcing you to do a yoga workout. It's just doing what's natural. And you might be able to do it for a couple of minutes and then it feels too tight. Fine. Just find ways to start to engage and use your body. And again, when I go to get up, sometimes I might just put the weight on one side of my body and rock myself up. So I engage more of my body. See if I can do it again. Right, so instead of, using my hands, I might just rock onto one butt cheek. Take that leg behind me. So now this is getting stretched. Roll over and up, Or I'll find another way of doing it. It's just, I find ways of playing with my body naturally. So it makes it do some work. So yes, not spending as much time on the seat, maybe sitting on the floor, cross-legged, little squat phase, reaching up to the cupboards, reaching down to the cupboards, overextending, being slightly off balance. These are all natural things we do, and we would do if we were in an environment, out in nature more, walking through the woods, climbing trees, not being on tarmac paths or paved paths, which are all nice and even. The ground would be uneven. We'd be using our balance more, which is what kids do, right? They go into the woods and they walk on a tree or they step over something, or your dog does it. We've got so disconnected, most of us, from how mammals would naturally move by being in static situations, static seating, in cars, doing things in a gym, which is a static motion mostly, okay? Or doing a repetitive action, which isn't a natural action. Like punching a bag is not a natural action, doing that. But reaching for something or carrying something in front of me, grabbing something, picking up a bag, carrying it out in front of me, and then maybe carrying it like this. It's a more natural action than it would be a set machine action. So there's a few more ideas for you guys. There's something that's popped into my mind there. Oh yeah, for example, because I enjoyed martial arts, little silly things like I'll be taking something out of the washing machine, and then instead of like pushing the door shut with my hand, I'll see if I can again get it. I'll just like, I don't know, do a little kick to shut the door. I'm not doing the kicks up here like I used to, up by my top of my head, because I haven't trained for years in martial arts and I've got out of that level of flexibility. But a little kind of like, I don't know, a little forward, wash your gui, no, my gui. Little forward kick to close the door, or a little side kick, or a little back kick. Especially whatever's fun. So these are all the things I naturally have enjoyed in my day-to-day life, basically. in terms of how I move my body. And I just want to share it with you guys. You know, maybe it's no use to you. Maybe you think, what the hell? You're really happy doing what you do. That's all cool. But I thought it might be fun just to do a quick little 15, 20 minutes sharing how I move my body, how I use it in my day-to-day activities to get it and keep it in shape. And I've only just started playing with it again at this level. So it'll be really interesting to see where I'm at in a week or 6 weeks or 2 months. And particularly with bringing the fasting back in, that makes a massive difference because the body isn't using up loads of energy trying to digest food, and it's not really necessarily able to process that food efficiently. As you know, I did a show on, what if eating is optional, which will be in the Your Life playlist, where I basically said about, what if you don't actually need food for energy at all? But the more dense a substance is, from liquids through to solids, the more dense you get, the more that congests the body and gets stored in the body in what we call fat. Okay, so the lighter more liquid form into even nothing, and feeding off the energy of what's around you, the more efficient your body, the more flexible, the more fluid, the more lean, and you actually have more energy and strength. So there's always something to explore as well. So working in union with the fasting and the light eating with the natural motion makes it cool. And another thing with flexibility as well, just to add before we kind of wrap up, what I know, for example, from out walking, I look to cross the road, I look behind me. And again, a lot of people, when they look behind them, might just do like a cursory glance, whereas I'm kind of like turning the whole body when I'm looking behind me. It's almost like a lifesaver, that motorcyclists learn. It's not just a glance, it's a real turn. And of course, that turns and twists and stretches the back. So again, it's just, what am I naturally doing? How can I exaggerate it or make my body work in an extended fashion manner to do that? And sometimes I love this thing on the floor. I'll just crawl around, basically like a lizard. Hashtag no filters, might as well let it out there, which is really hard because I'm keeping my stomach off the ground, but I'm putting out my right hand now, and with my left foot, it's the way the lizards climb a wall, and then my left hand, my right foot, and I keep my body off the floor. Yeah. Or I do it sort of on my back where I'm kind of, again, I'll see if I can show you. This one's quite a bit easier actually when you're starting off. Where's a cameraman when you need one? Camera person. When you're on your hands and on your feet, so that I can see. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's all on fours, my butt's off, and walk around a bit, which makes it insane. But it is a killer on the arms. And of course, you keep your butt off the ground. And again, it's kind of thing I used to do as a kid. It was a really neat thing to play. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you the lizard one, but even just, for example, going on to my side, like you see here, I've got there's a foot, one foot off the floor, on my hand. It's almost like side press-ups. It's just mucking about, basically. You could turn over, you could go into normal press-up, and then you could keep going to the other side or just balance. It's just playing with your body, not taking yourself too seriously, but using it in your everyday activities. So, guys, I hope there's something there. Go listen to it again. Talk about how you use the legs, a bit about the arms, a bit about the core, a bit about the flexibility in your everyday activities, from sitting on the loo, sitting at your desk, emptying your cupboards, putting things in your cupboards, hoovering, folding the washing, getting in the shopping. If you can't find something in that might add a little extra to you, well, what can I say? Not much more I can do. Guys, been a joy as always. Big love. Enjoy the cray of the world. This love is love talk. Just a big shout. This is from Kind Company, who I model for, and it's organic cotton, vegan friendly, and they're a really great brand. And Kind Companies, that's Kind, K-I-N-D, Company, K-O-M-P-A-N-Y, kindcompany.com, I believe. And yeah, a beautiful company that's local to me. And if you're looking for some cool sweatshirts, t-shirts, go check them out. let me just say, Simon's got a comment here. Simon's just saying it's fun doing things like that. He does it sometimes. glad he's not the only one that likes to use his leg to shut drawers and cupboards. Can't say he's crawled around like a lizard much, but they used to play crab football in Scouts. Awesome, Simon. Hey, there you are. But there's a few of us out there that love doing things like this. Sometimes you just got to share it and just be yourself and let people know. You never know. You find some like friends who also inspire each other. I love the idea of crab football. Might have to look that up. Thanks for joining again, Simon. Thanks, guys. Big love. Travel well.